Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about Math 100, section 1.3, and let's start off with a definition of what is an additive inverse. An additive inverse is a number that can be used to, I'm going to put quotation marks, cancel out a given number. That is to say, they add to 0. So if you have a number, its additive inverse is the one that cancels it out, so when you add them together, you get a goose egg, you get 0. An example, 5 has an inverse of negative 5. 5 plus negative 5, those cancel each other, they're additive inverses. Similarly, negative 7 has inverse of positive 7, right? Negative 7 gets canceled out by positive 7. So that is what additive inverses are, right? It's the opposite signed number. So if I'm given a positive number, its additive inverse will be negative. If I'm given a negative number, its inverse will be positive. The double negative rule, if I have negative of a negative number, that's equal to the original number. Negating a number twice brings you back around to the original number. And then absolute value. The absolute value has two definitions. The first is the distance from a number to 0. How far away from 0 is the number in question? That is one definition. And two is the, and I'm going to put in quotation marks because this is more of the layman's terms, but the positive version of a number. This is not a mathematical definition. The first one is the mathematical definition. The absolute value is the distance from the number to 0. The second one is a way to remember. That is the positive version of a number. So let's check. Absolute value of 0. How far away from 0 is 0? Well, it's 0 away, right? How about the absolute value of 5? How far away from 0 is the number 5? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that is 5. What's the positive version of positive 5? It's also 5, right? It's already positive. How about number 3? How far away from 0 is negative 5? The absolute value of negative 5? Well, that's going to be 5 as well. Because negative 5 is, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. It's 5 away. How about here? Well, first, I'm going to keep the negative sign out front and figure out what's going on right here. Absolute value of negative 5. Well, I'm going to put parentheses as a placeholder. That first part here gave me 5. And then I want to negate it, so my answer is negative 5. Notice it's not a double negative rule because double negatives use parentheses, not absolute value. In my fifth example, 8 minus 2, well, first I got to figure out what 8 minus 2 is. That gives me 6, right? Got to figure that out. Then the absolute value of 6 is 6. Similarly here, the negative will be out front, but I need to do 8 minus 2 first. Then I take the absolute value. What's the absolute value of 6? That's 6, but it's the negative. So if a negative sign is out front, the answer is going to be negative, right? But if it's not, the answer is positive. That's where I wrote the positive version of a number. So absolute value is a way to shift numbers into positive versions of themselves. It's also a way to calculate the distance, right? The distance from that number to the number 0. How far away from 0 is that number? But then we had negative signs out front, right? And then it says, no, absolute value signs are a type of grouping symbol, right? If I have absolute value signs, I need to work inside of them first. What's going on inside before I do anything with them? We did that in 5 and 6. We did 8 minus 2 before we calculated the absolute value. Must work inside first. So treat them like grouping symbols. And, short and sweet, for 1.3, that is all. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.